We've had quite a few interesting conversations, or so to speak, of politics in the past year or so. I've been reading one of the articles by The Conversation. For those that don't know, The Conversation is one of the new newspapers or news agencies which I will be using for one of my sources. I decided to distrust the Sydney Morning Herald due to their negligent actions during the newspaper strike, and the fact that it's filled with hypocrisy, which makes and part of the Fairfax media. Now, if anyone who wants to know about my reasoning as to distrust the Sydney Morning Herald, despite its previous years of unbiased reporting, you can ask me and I will explain in a later video or on one of the posts. But as for now, I'm looking at the conversation, and so far it seems to be quite an interesting article. It's very in-depth, but there has been a lot of articles published. So it's a bit specific, but it's also a very good website in my opinion. So what I'm talking about today is the fact that in the conversation there's been much discussion about the fact that left-wing politics have been doing quite well in 2017, with some exception. 2016 was the politics of the increase of right-wing populism due to the failure of the Obama administration and its effects on the global economy. And 2017, what is from what I've been gathered, is the reaction to this. But I'm asking, or I'm believed to be asking myself and my viewers, if it's believed that this level of politics or left-wing politics will continue for the next year or so. My answer to this at the moment is that possibly. Not really likely and not certainly, but possibly. At the moment, Labour Labour is polling quite heavily in the Victoria, Tasmania, South Australia, even New South Wales and Queensland, which they did win a few months back. And they have been polling quite well in the United States House of Representatives. They have been polling quite well in the UK, France, and quite a lot of other developed nations, according to the article. However, there have been some minor exceptions in 2017, such as with the Austrian election, with the far-right organization winning, which I believe was the correct decision, or the fact that in the German election, the right wing gained 12.5% or more votes for the 12.6 actually of the voting electorate. At the present, though, I think that if I were to choose between right-wing populism and left-wing populism, I would certainly choose right-wing populism. I know it's a pretty terrible choice between neo-fascism and neo-communism, but at present, far-left populism or far-left politics is just mainly about appeasement to a lot of minority groups or to a lot of fringing fanatics and religious expose. It's to support social justice warriors or that kind of stuff. And you cannot build a society on so many conflicting beliefs, in my opinion. You can have a wide range of beliefs, but you have to have a dominant ideal or dominant cultural aspect. And I think that left-wing politics will continue to rise and be supported in the next year or so, as I'm saying back to my topic, but they will be required to do so under the assumption that they deliver where right-wing politics or policies have failed. And I believe that a lot of the left-wing trusting your mainstream left-wing or center-left politician is a fool's errand. These are the various politicians which have failed you continuously, and they are the parties that have caused the 2008 or 2007 financial crash, with little recovery in the past 10 years. We could have had someone like FDR, we could have had relief, we could have actually had vast improvement. And I will also say that this has happened quite a bit in some countries, but not as much or not as many countries as I would like to have hoped. And centralized policies are just mainly about um, social left policies while maintaining the globalist or globalization of finances or fiscal matters. So it is possible that 2018 will deliver more left-wing political groups rising or left-wing election positive results, I guess. But they will fail unless they actually deliver policies that help the downtrodden or help people get back up on society in ways that they have not been able to do so for the past decade. I'll admit some things have improved and we have somewhat limited on, but it's not been nearly enough. It's been a band-aid to the situation and it's very difficult to find work. Take me for example. I would not be doing this if if a lot of the policies or a lot of politicians had succeeded. A lot of the policies had helped me. There is actually no hope for mainstream left-wing policies, and it's either far right or far left. And you know my opinion on that. But it's certainly better than the mainstream political parties.